wap.
Yes, people, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. This is episode number 42. And as always, we are your hosts, the lads, Jan and Malcolm. Bro, how are you, first of all? We're approaching halfway through summer almost now.
Well, I'm sorry. Listen, I had this song stuck on my mind ever since I'm playing this PS2 game. But anyways, I'm alright, bro. Thank you very much. Doing well. Had a bit of a long weekend, all of that
Yeah.
stuff going on, the whole 9 yards. But pretty solid stuff. How are you, bro? You good?
I'm excited, bro. I mean, we're in the week where I'll
Yeah,
be leaving
yeah.
for Tanzania to summit Kilimanjaro, so very excited now. I mean, obviously a little bit the nerves are starting to creep in now for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I've been training for the past 8 months for this, so obviously now the excitement's kicking in now. So it's just all focused on this now, just preparing my last few stuff regarding with the equipment before I leave this coming Thursday. I'm pretty certain it's gonna be the trip of a lifetime.
Let's
But
go.
before that, we have got a race weekend to talk about and a lot more stuff, guys. So strap yourselves in because this might be a bit of a longer episode than usual. But before we begin, guys, as usual, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, it's called Stop Lounge. It's a podcast related to all things related to Formula One, what happens on the racetrack, at the paddock, and outside of it, race reviews, awards, and also some breaking news that has been affecting pretty much the entire sport. And trust me, we have some shit to talk about with this episode.
Yes. It is a bit too late though. Not too late. It is a bit late. We're a bit late to the
Yeah, it is a
party.
bit. Yeah, a bit quite late, but as they say, it's better late than never. But before we begin, guys, make sure to follow us on our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. If you're obviously listening to us on Spotify, guys, make sure to hit us up with that 5-star rating and make sure to answer what we publish on our polls with every single episode. We're really curious to see what are your thoughts on each poll we publish with every single episode. And with that, bro, let us get into today's episode. We obviously have Spa Francorchamps in Belgium to talk about, but of course, guys, I think you all know what we're gonna be starting with. Red Bull.
Yes, sir.
We have to start with Red Bull, and we have to talk about Christian Horner, who has been dismissed from his role as team principal, from Red Bull's team principal. Now, guys, obviously we are a little bit late to this, but because bro, we were initially gonna be doing an episode a couple of weeks ago if Max Verstappen would have made the switch to
That
Mercedes,
would need
but
a whole episode on itself.
that would be the whole episode on its own. But obviously, guys, that didn't happen. So going back to Christian Horner, yes, guys, Christian Horner has been dismissed from his role as team principal. This obviously comes after his ongoing accusations with one of his female colleagues at the team. But also, according to Helmut Marko, Horner also lost his job because of his performance of the team's performances this season, which they have been underperforming. And bro, it's fair to say that the Red Bull dominance now is pretty much over. It's been over since last year, to be fair.
Practically. Practically.
But to be honest, bro, as much as everyone's saying that this news has sent shockwaves to the entire sport, I don't think I'm too surprised about this, bro. I am a little bit surprised about the timing of the news, but overall, I think I kind of saw this coming from a mile ahead, bro. I'm gonna start with your thoughts, bro. What do you think about this?
Listen, same as you. We were just talking before we started the episode, Jan, that and we both said it ourselves that it is a culmination of everything that has happened since the allegations. It is the allegations of last year, the performances throughout last year and this year in particular as well. Let's be honest, Max Verstappen, performance-wise, excuse me, performance-wise, Max Verstappen is keeping Red Bull afloat.
It's carrying the
So
entire team on its shoulders, pretty much.
it's literally a one-man team, one-man army, Call of Duty settings. That's what Max Verstappen is doing right now, and has been doing for quite some time. So you just said that social media or whoever was saying that it sends shotwaves throughout the F1 paddock. Me and you particularly, we weren't shocked. I for one wasn't shocked. Actually, I'm like you. I'm with you on this. Uh, what you call it? The timing of the sacking, the timing of the dismissal. Same as you. I think it was pretty late, but they did it now because they felt it was a right time due to the performances. But other than that, someone like Jos Verstappen, who's Max Verstappen's father, he's been quite the mouthful against Christian Horner.
Yeah, he has been.
Quite the mouthful. So that could play a part. It's a culmination of a lot of things, Jan. It is a culmination
Yeah,
of a lot of things. From the allegations last year to the performances, particularly this year, it's a culmination.
yeah. And the performances, bro, they have been nowhere near good enough this season. I mean, they've with the constructor standings, they're currently in fourth place. Yeah,
All Max Verstappen.
they're
It's all
currently in
Max
fourth
Verstappen's
place. It's
points.
all thanks to Max Verstappen, bro. Listen, if Max wasn't in the team, Red Bull would be at the bottom of the constructor standings. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating in the slightest
Listen,
because
last five races, Sauber scored more points than Red Bull.
yeah, they have.
Sauber. Sauber, bro. Sauber.
It's just a combination of many things, bro. Obviously, listen, the allegations played a massive, massive part in this. I think for me, listen, I think obviously that was probably probably the main reason why Horner has lost his job. But as we said, guys, the results have probably been the final nail in the coffin. And as I said before, guys, this pretty much marks the end of Red Bull's dominance because Adrian Newey is gone, Jonathan Wheatley is gone, now Christian Horner is gone. Max Verstappen, as he's denying that as much as he's denying the speculative rumors and news that he's going to be stayed, I think he could be next up, bro.
That's
And I won't be surprised at all if that happens.
that's practically three-fourths of Red Bull's Mount Rushmore gone.
Yeah, the
Practically.
big boys.
Three-fourths of Red Bull's Mount Rushmore is gone. Max Verstappen is the
Yeah,
only one left.
and listen, reflecting back, bro, on this, obviously, bro, Christian Horner has been in the team since its inception in 2005, so he's been pretty much there from the get go. And I think, bro, if we reflect back on his time in the team, he's done an unbelievable job. I mean, he's
Absolutely.
pretty much brought. I mean,
Absolutely.
we talk about Sebastian Vettel and Max Verstappen being like the the guys that propelled this team. We can't rule out Christian Horner
Absolutely.
and the likes of Adrian Newey as well
He
with what they
deserves.
did.
He absolutely deserves to be on the discussion as one of the best team
Yeah,
principals. He deserves to be alongside the Ron Dennises,
yeah,
the oh my god, the Jean Todds.
the Jean Tots, yeah,
Absolutely deserves to be there. Absolutely deserves to be there. The Toto Wolves. I mean, hell,
yeah,
they had
the Mercedes one.
the rivalry was still going on, and he had a rivalry going with Zach Brown now. So
Yeah,
he deserves his flowers.
And Zach Brown wasn't too surprised as well about the news. But listen, Horner's done an unbelievable job at the team. He's pretty much propelled them to the team that they are right now. They've dominated the sport for a number of years. They've won multiple constructor titles and driver championship titles as well. But it feels like the passing of the torch is happening here. I mean, the transition now has happened. McLaren are dominating the entire sport over Red Bull now, and I think we needed. I think obviously we needed a new team now to take over Red Bull. But yeah, looking back into this now, listen. As much as I'm surprised about the timing, I think this is typical Red Bull, bro. They love doing these changes midway through the season. They've done it with their drivers, and now they've done it with their they've done their team principal now. Obviously, now in his place is Laurent Meckies, who gets promoted from Racing Bulls. In replacing Laurent Meckies is Alain Perrimain, so that's pretty much a domino effect now. And Laurent Meckies has big shoes to fill in, bro. I mean, it's pretty much a baptism of fire now at this point. I mean, he's found himself quite
I'm
in
a
a
fan
big
of Laurent
mess.
Meckies. I am a fan of Laurent Meckies,
Yeah,
man.
but thankfully the transition has been smooth according to Helmut Marko. What do you think about this?
Absolutely. Listen, Laurent Meckies has done a fantastic job with Red Bull Visa Cash App. Ever since leaving Ferrari, let's not forget he was, I believe, Leclerc's race engineer or
Yeah,
something
he
like that.
was. Yeah, he
He was
was.
Leclerc's race engineer, and since then, he went and became team principal at Red Bull Visa Cash App. He's done a fantastic job there. Absolutely
Yeah,
fantastic job with bringing back Daniel Ricciardo, with nurturing Yuki Tsunoda, as well as Liam Lawson. Brilliant, as well as Isaac Hadjar as well. Listen, he's done a fantastic job at Red Bull Visa Cash App, and I firmly believe, especially after this first weekend, I think he's going to do a solid job for Red Bull. I
Yeah,
firmly
but
believe he's gonna do a
I
good job,
also
and I
yeah. So sorry.
believe in him. Excuse me. He's gonna do a very good job. I believe in Laurent Meckies. He's done a fantastic job again at
Yeah,
RB Visa. So let's see
yeah,
how it goes.
but I wouldn't I wouldn't give too much pressure on him at the moment because there's a couple of friends of mine that they're onto him. No, no, Diddy, by the way, they're onto him from yeah. I had to say that. Sorry,
That's a good one.
they're onto him from the get go, bro. And I don't think he deserves as much pressure as
Nah,
he is at the moment. Listen, we all know that it's a team
that's
that is
unfair.
trying to find its. We all know that right now Red Bull is trying to find its feet again. They've fallen behind
That's
both in the
unfair.
constructor titles and even the driver's titles as well. So I think that pressure is unfair on Mickey.
Absolutely unfair.
What next for Red Bull and Christian Horner, bro? I'm hearing that Christian Horner could possibly head to Ferrari, but
Nah,
obviously that is unconfirmed at the
no,
moment.
no, bro. Horner managing Lewis Hamilton.
Can't see that happening.
Nah,
No, it's very unrealistic.
no. I will replace him with Vasseur. Even though Ferrari are where they are right now, I don't want to get into that. But no, I can't see that happening. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ferrari's problem is not the team principle. There are far greater problems than just the team principle. I don't want to get into that right now. But
Yeah,
Horner to Ferrari, nah.
not
And
happening.
your
No,
your Red Bull friends, by the way, your Red Bull friends, they're being very unfair. They're being very
they're more
unfair.
Max Verstappen fans to be fair, rather than Red Bull fans.
Okay,
But
so if Verstappen leaves, they go with him.
most likely, yeah. I mean that's how I can understand that.
Understood.
No, but to wrap up on this point before we get into the main meat of the weekend.
Pause, bro.
Not not surprised about Horner. I think this this news was bound to happen. To be honest, it was bro. I predicted this news from the start of this podcast pretty much. It was either on the
Yeah,
second or third episode, I believe.
yeah.
This news was bound to happen, unfortunately, and it happened pretty much halfway through the season. What's next for Red Bull and Max Verstappen? We have to wait and see on that. I won't be surprised if Max ends up leaving the team at the end of the season or the following season. But obviously for Red Bull, they're trying to find their pieces of the puzzle again. They're way behind in the constructor titles, so in the constructors and the driver signs at the moment. So it's a new era for sure. Obviously, it's the end of an era and the start of a new one now with Laurent Meckies at the helm. Let's wait and see, obviously, to see where they will
Where it
end up at the
goes.
end of the season with the team and also with Horner. With Christian Horner, we'll have to wait and see if he's going to make a return to the sport or he's going to be taking a sabbatical. Obviously, a decision like this, bro, it's very very tough to take for if you're a Red Bull fan, but
Absolutely.
everyone has an ending, bro. So every story has an ending. So
It
and
is what it is.
with that, guys, let us head into Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, bro. Personally, this is my favorite track of the calendar. It's like
It is a
it's
beautiful
my
one.
personal favorite. But at the same
One of
time,
my
bro,
favorites. One of my favorites as well. I love Spa.
I think we were all a little bit scared because of the weather. Because last time we had rain in this track, the race got suspended back in 2021, and it was forecasted, bro, that we were gonna be having rain pretty much all weekend. What do you think?
And it wasn't the case. It ended up being not being the case. I mean,
No,
we had rain, but wasn't the whole entirety of the weekend.
no, we haven't.
Well, for the Formula One race, because other races were affected. But seeing that weather forecast beforehand, I'm like, oh god damn it, we're gonna have another 2021, are we?
Yeah,
But it wasn't the case.
no, with the race, bro.
Particularly,
Particularly
particularly.
the race. I actually wrote in the chat. I wrote like it was gonna be 2021 all over again, and thankfully that
I
wasn't
thought
the case.
I thought the race wasn't gonna happen, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. Obviously, guys, Belgium is one of the few Grand Prix weekends that had a sprint race, so it's gonna be a little bit of a longer episode with that because we have to get into sprint qualifying, sprint race, the qualifying, and the race. So we're gonna be starting with sprint qualifying, which was quite eventful, bro, because
It was quite a bit.
we've had two major surprises who got knocked out of. The first was Kimi Antonelli, who went who went off the gravel and remained dead last pretty much with his time. But even more surprising, bro, was Lewis Hamilton in 18th, lost control of his car.
You know what's funny, man? You know what's funny with that spin of Lewis Hamilton? I heard, I didn't hear, I saw an article, right? That Lewis Hamilton, yeah, is sending Microsoft Word documents to the Ferrari team on how to set up the car, on how to make the Formula One car, because he's so keen on becoming a champion with Ferrari that he's sending the team Microsoft Word documents.
On how to make the car
As
better.
soon as you hear that, you go into sprint qualifying and you see that happening. You can only laugh.
That's
If you
it's
don't cry, you
it's
laugh.
peak Ferrari. It's peak Ferrari, bro. It's peak
Listen, if you
Ferrari.
don't cry, you laugh. If you don't cry, you laugh.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of this. I just burst out laughing. I'm like, look at this shit, man. Again, it just went. It's not even Lewis Hamilton's fault. That can't be Lewis Hamilton's fault.
Bro, you look checked out completely as well from this
I'm
season
done.
as well.
I'm
I
done.
mean,
I'm gonna be
you look
honest,
at. I
guys.
mean,
Guys, I'm being truthfully. I'm being truthful with y'all. I'm done for the season. I want the season to end. I'd rather watch swimming. I'd rather watch Michael Phelps doing backstrokes. No Diddy. I'd rather be watching that. I'd rather watch badminton. I'd rather watch cricket.
you can watch tennis as well, bro.
I
Carlos
love
Alcaraz
tennis.
and Yannick Sinner. So you could be watching that sport instead. But
I
anyhow,
like tennis, but whatever.
obviously major disappointments for Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Antonelli. Um, Pinto finished in between 18th place. Was not much of a surprise there with Pinto. Back to reality for Nico Hulkenberg, unfortunately, who finished in 17th.
Yeah,
And in 16th, a bit disappointing as well, Alex Albon
yeah.
with the Williams. Obviously, their lap times got affected because of Lewis Hamilton's spin, which caused a yellow flag during the qualifying session, bro. So they were a little bit unlucky but regardless, Hulkenberg again back to reality for him. Franco Pinto, he obviously evidently struggling at the moment. I think he could potentially lose his seat by the next race or after the summer break. We'll have to wait and see on that.
At this point, he could go throughout the whole season.
Yeah, I
Colapinto might
mean,
make it to the end of the season with this rate, and I won't be surprised.
not surprised as well, bro. In Q2, more misery for Mercedes, bro, with George Russell, who also, by the way, had a little bit of a scare in Q1 after Antonelli's spin. With George Russell, he finished in 13th place. Very disappointing with him. The two Aston Martins finished behind him in 14th and 15th. That's also a double disappointment for them with Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. Obviously sprint qualifying too, bro. Not as eventful as SQ1. Lando Norris almost got himself knocked out of Q2, but he made a
Yeah, it was
killer
never
lap.
gonna happen.
It wasn't going to happen, given the car and given his performance as well. So, a killer lap from him. Regardless, with the rest of the drivers, we had Yuki Tsunoda in 12th and Liam Lawson in 11th. Not gonna get too much in detail with here, bro. I think given how their seasons are going, so we just get ourselves straight into the
No,
top 10. Sorry.
no, no. I mean, I was about to say that. Exactly. Given Liam Lawson and Yuki Tsunoda's performance, Gabriel Bortoletto made it through just about in Q3. For Q3, he
Yeah,
made it just about. That was what I was about to say.
yeah, exactly. And obviously he remained in 10th place with the Sauber. In ninth we had Isaac Hajar. In eighth we had Pierre Gasly. Seventh Oliver Behrman. Sixth Carlos Sainz. Fifth Esteban Ocon. Followed by Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, and Oscar Piastri. Bro, we're gonna have to start with Haas first. That to
Yeah,
get both cars
absolutely.
in the top 10 is a super job for them.
They had great setups throughout the weekend. They had great setup, not throughout the weekend. Sorry, for the sprint session, for the sprint quali, their setup was absolutely spot on. It might have helped also as well with track of evolution. That
Yeah,
might have helped the cause as well, because SQ1's track evolution was crazy.
yeah,
So that might have helped with track evolution a bit, but their setup was spot on for the
yeah,
sprint qualifying. Excuse me, for the sprint qualifying.
yeah.
So for Oli Behrman to get 7th and Esteban Ocon 5th, that Haas looked, it had some pace on it. It did. So kudos to Haas.
And even Oliver Behrman, bro. I mean, Oliver Behrman was chasing after a record for finishing both qualifying and the race. He was about to join a list of exclusive drivers for finishing the first, I believe, 10 or 11 races of the season without getting retired, or without finishing a lap. So that's obviously was gonna be helping him leading up to the race. Equally as impressive, bro, is Carlos Sainz with the Williams compared to
Yeah,
his teammate. That's a superb effort to get that Williams inside the top 10 and to get himself into sixth place. But other than that, bro, Pierre Gasly at these again showing once again how essential he is for Alpine. That I believe that's also back to back back top 10 starts for him, whether it's
yeah,
the sprint, whether it's for the sprint race or the race in itself.
yeah.
Um, Other than that, bro, usual suspects. Leclerc fourth, that McLaren showing once again how quick it is. Max Verstappen showing once again how 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 elite he is as a driver. And Oscar Piastri showing once again that he's the favorite to win for the championship, bro. Pole position yet again with a
The silent,
140.510. Yeah,
the
he's getting
silent
that nickname
assassin.
about time. His growth is unreal, bro, from this season to the last. And obviously, no one expected him to be challenging this early in his F1 career. But again, to obviously Oscar, bro, he had to answer back after what Lando has been doing recently from the last 2 weekends. So that was the perfect way to send the statement once again to start the sprint race on pole position. And with
Absolutely.
that, bro, if we don't have any more to say, we can jump straight into the sprint race, which unfortunately
That's Dolphin Dive.
there isn't much to talk about. Actually, bro, before we get into the sprint race, Pierre Gasly unfortunately had some leakage in his car,
Yeah,
which he didn't
yeah.
start the race.
That's quite
But
unfortunate.
thankfully he managed the team managed to get his car back in one piece, and he started the race with 2 laps behind. But that was pretty much sprint race over for him because given the car, there was no way he was gonna build his way up to the grid, and in fact he actually finished in the bottom of the grid. The sprint at the start,
It was a clean start.
a clean
Verstappen
start.
overtook Piastri on lap one, and that was pretty much it. Because
Yeah,
the top three were fighting each other. Both McLarens were going against Verstappen. They were constantly chasing him throughout the race. Leclerc in P4 was way behind. He was about 10 seconds behind.
yeah.
And it was just a race between the top three. Verstappen, cool as a cucumber, held both McLarens and ended up winning the race.
And
That's all it was.
obviously, bro, leading up to this weekend, the Mercedes power engines, a lot of people are saying that they were struggling on the straight line speed, and that showed on the first lap. I mean, Verstappen pretty much breezed past Piastri. I'm being completely honest with the sprint race, and
Yeah,
from there on,
but I think
sorry,
that's more that I think that's the more with the setup, because here in Spa especially, the setup is king.
yeah,
Setup is king because you have the long back straight, and then you have all these corners. You have Pufon, you have a lot of corners, and you need pretty good downforce in order
yeah.
to navigate those corners. So setup here is absolutely king. And I think Max Verstappen's Red Bull had a bit of an upper hand over the McLaren sprint, I believe.
And it showed his skills evidently show, bro, because
Absolutely.
and even Lando, and even before we get into Piastri and Verstappen, bro, even Lando Norris in the first couple of laps, he was struggling a little bit out there. Leclerc edged past him
Yes, as well.
to get third place, but by lap four, Lando did the overtake and regained third spot. But other than that, bro, I think the sprint race, it was obviously Max Verstappen versus the two McLarens of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. And bro, despite Piastri closing the gap on Verstappen, he never really seemed to get an opportunity to get past Max. And obviously
So
that
close, yeah. So
those
close
those skills
so
showed.
far.
Obviously, the battery power, the car's battery power made a bit of a difference as well. It was lacking a bit. It was little bit in battery power. But bro, other than that, Max was pretty comfortable
He was cool as a cucumber.
for most of the sprint race. We did Piastri did had some opportunities for overtaking in the last 4 laps, but going back to the track, bro. As much as I love Spa, this is a very difficult track to do any sort of overtaking. You don't have a lot of opportunities for
You have the back straight.
to
Yeah, you have the back
to make the
straight in the
opportunities. The back
DRS
straight is
zone.
one of them. The back straight is one of them for sure.
The DRS zone. Maybe the turn one probably. Maybe the last corner onto the
Yeah,
start finish straight. I'm trying to think. Poof on the suicide. Poof on
yeah,
suicide to try to do overtake at Poof on. Probably those are the overtaking spots. I
yeah,
think so. Those are probably the overtaking spots that you can do around Spa. Probably.
yeah. No,
Anyways,
but no, yeah. No, I think other than that, bro, Max was very comfortable, and he ended up winning the sprint race. And from there, bro, it felt like a statement win for Red Bull. They gave some indications that they could possibly give the two McLarens a bit of a hard time. I'm not talking about Yuki Tsunoda because given how that second car is performing so far this season,
yeah,
to
but
be
it's
honest,
always gonna
I
be a
gave no
struggle,
hopes.
man.
It was always going to be a struggle. It gave a little bit of hope for Red Bull that that Max could possibly be up there with both qualifying and the race. So a well deserved sprint race win for Max.
Absolutely.
Um, the rest of the top eight, bro. However, not much. There wasn't much.
No, not at
How
all.
uneventful that race was. We had the two McLaren. Sorry,
Those are the races at the moment, apart from Silverstone.
yeah,
Barring Silverstone, most of the races are like that.
yeah.
But
Unfortunately,
anyhow, a lot of drivers gained the place. Those especially that started behind Pierre Gasly due to Pierre Gasly not finishing the race due to the
yeah,
crash that he had. Unfortunately, that's
yeah,
mostly how it
exactly.
goes.
Yeah, even Hamilton, for example, bro, didn't make much ground, unfortunately,
Yeah,
given the
couldn't do much.
limited amount of laps. No, but other than that, bro, the top eight, because obviously the top eight drivers get the most points get the points with the sprint race. Not much changes. We've had obviously Max winning the race, followed by the two McLarens. Leclerc kept his fourth place. So was the difference only is obviously Isaac Hadjar gained up a place in eight. Gabe Bortoletto also and Liam Lawson also gained a place, but obviously they remain without the points. With two McLarens held the amount of points for the constructor standings. Same goes with Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. That's more points gained for the driver standings. And even with Max Verstappen, obviously he's a little bit far behind with the drive with how his championship season is going at the moment, but not too much complaints with my end, bro. I mean, second and
You
third
shouldn't.
is a healthy amount of points, even with you guys with Ferrari with the fourth place.
Yeah, I mean decent. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, just goes to show how uneventful
Sorry, excuse me.
that sprint race was, bro. Anything else to add, bro?
Nothing new.
No, all right.
Nothing
So
much, man. Nothing much, man.
we'll head yet. We'll once again. We're gonna be heading into qualifying. Once again, guys, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, it's called the Pit Stop Lounge. It's a podcast related to all things related to Formula One. If this is your specifically if this is your first time listening to this podcast, make sure to follow us on our socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify. Let's get those subscriber and like counts and those polls up and running, guys.
Let's get him.
Let's get it up and running, and we'll head into qualifying. Bro, in qualifying, not sure if you've watched it. Obviously,
I
there
watched quali, yeah.
was there was a little bit of a scramble in the pits with Fernando Alonso and one of the Hasses. There was a bit of chaos going on there. There was a bit of an unsafe release as well. Um, between obviously there was
I
obviously
didn't quite catch that though. I didn't quite catch that. I didn't quite catch that.
No, basically what happened, bro, the
I saw quali, but I didn't catch that.
Nico Hulkenberg Sauber basically drove into Lance Stroll into the pits,
Okay.
which caused a little bit of front wing, a little bit of front wing damage on Lance Stroll's car. Obviously caused
Okay.
a bit of complaints. No surprise coming from Lance Stroll. But bro, with Q1, we thought that we were not. we were not going to be having any surprises. Not only Gary Bortoletto got himself out of Q1 with a pretty strong lap time with the Sauber, but Kimi Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton, bro, both
Again,
drivers again got themselves knocked out of Q1 alongside the
Lew-
two Aston Martins as well. Major disappointment from both.
alongside Colapinto. Lewis Hamilton's lap time was deleted. Initially, his lap on the last run of Q1, his lap got him up to P7, just behind Charles Leclerc. But his lap time was deleted for exceeding track limits up at Rouge. And I was so fucking disappointed, man. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna go watch swimming. I was so
And that's
pissed
and
off
that, and
with
that,
him
and
at
that
there. But whatever. I don't want to talk about it. I was so disappointed with Lewis
No, I
Hamilton.
mean, no, I mean, if I was a Ferrari fan as well, bro, I would be like the same. I mean, to get knocked out in both the sprint qualifying and the qualifying in general, that is a major
You know what?
disappointment
You know
for
what?
for, for them like Hamilton as well.
What happened in the sprint quali? Okay, whatever, fine. But to get knocked out and due to track limits, knowing Lewis Hamilton, he should know better. But
Yeah,
anyways, whatever.
yeah,
Things
exactly.
happen. Whatever. Kimi Antonelli, I don't know exactly what happened again with him.
He's going through a tough period at the moment, Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, again, I kind of I kind of expected that since he is still a rookie, he's still very young, so I think he still needs to get used to the other aspects of the sport. So again, I'm a little
But
bit of
he's
a
a tough cookie, you know. He's
he
a
is a
tough
bit,
cookie.
yeah, for sure.
He is a tough cookie,
But
Kimi.
obviously to get knocked out of on in Q1 in both the sprint qualifying and qualifying in general, that is that he
That
can do
stings, bro.
that things he can do much better than that. And also the two Aston Martins, bro. That to get both
I don't
drivers knocked
know.
out, it's a bit
I don't know if
disappointing.
they had a problem with the tweet with the setting up, because of course after the sprint you can go back into Park Ferme, you can do the setup again for the car. Depends on the weather and such. They can do that after a sprint weekend, after the sprint. And I think they messed up their setup. I think
And
they
al-
really messed up their setup, and it showed because both of them 19 and 20th, bro.
and also, bro, it also was because of the unsafe release that happened in the first part of Q1. Obviously,
Yeah,
Lance
that compromised
Stroll's
Stroll.
had some front wing damage that also compromised his lap time as well. So that could also have played a factor as to why they struggled massively.
Yeah, that absolutely
But
compromised.
other than that, bro, Falco up into no surprises there. Again, not getting knocked out of Q1. In Q2, disappointing for the two Hasses, bro, in 11th and 12th, considering that they started the sprint race and finished the sprint race, both cars in the top eight. So to get into 11th and 12th is disappointing. Same goes with Pierre Gasly. I think the leakage in his car during the sprint race, I think played a pretty big part as well. Nico Hulkenberg an improvement over SQ1 in 14th,
It was.
and Carlos Sainz a bit of a downgrade as well to go from 6th to 15th in qualifying. Anything to add on this?
Not much really, bro. Not much.
Yeah. And the top 10, Gabe Bortoletto in 10. That's a superb effort with the Sauber to
Absolutely.
get himself into the top 10 once again, by the way, because that's
Wait,
exactly what he did in sprint qualifying.
Austria, I believe.
And even the sprint qualifying in here, bro, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely as well. Yeah, I
Um,
forgot for a moment. God damn it.
Lawson
Mega,
Ice,
mega.
he got
Finally.
him at in 7th place, which is not the worst result in the
Decent.
world for him.
Decent. Brilliant. Absolutely decent for Yuki Tsunoda. That underfloor upgrade certainly helped. And it had to be thanks to a new team principal coming in.
Could be played
How
a part in that.
I don't know. Listen, I was hearing the commentator saying that Laurent Meckies was giving Yuki Tsunoda the thumbs up. He was giving him advice. He was showing, let's say, encouragement to Yuki more than Christian Horner was doing. That goes a long way. That goes a
Yeah,
very
for
long way,
sure.
and it showed. And it showed definitely. So big shout out to Yuki, man. I hope he comes good now. I really hope.
And let's hope it's not a one-off as well,
Yeah,
bro, because I think
absolutely.
we've seen this story unfold several times with Yuki.
Yeah,
He ends up getting a really good lap time in Q2, and then when it comes to the race, it's the complete opposite then. So, but at least to get himself into Q3, that's a confidence booster for him for
absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
George Russell in sixth, much better compared to sprint qualifying.
Absolutely.
To get knocked out of Q2 and get into the top 10,
Same
that's
with
much
Alex
more.
Albon.
That's much more like it. Same goes with Alex Albon in fifth. Again, it feels like him and Carlos Sainz just swapped roles in sprint qualifying and qualifying. Just obviously Alex Albon got a place up than Sainz. Great effort for him. And the top four, Max Verstappen fourth, very disappointing for him to go from sprint race heroics to only managing fourth in qualifying, followed by Charles Leclerc in third. And surprise, the two McLarens, Oscar Piastri in second and Lando Norris in pole position with a 140.562. Stop yawning, bro, because you're gonna see more of that in the next couple of races and the qualifying.
I've already seen it for half a season already.
I think there's not even much to add here, bro, because it's everyone predicted that McLaren was gonna end, we're gonna be in pole position. Just goes to show how mega quick that car is at the moment. But with Leclerc, bro, third place, that's decent to be
I
honest.
mean, listen, 3,000ths of a second above Max Verstappen. I wasn't expecting Charles to get third, though. I was expecting Charles to get fourth again. By only a minuscule 3,000ths of a second, just like I said. But it is a second row start. I mean, whatever. I mean, it was still going to get a second row start if he got fourth. But, yeah, I guess, okay, decent.
Yeah, and the two McLarens as well. I think for Lando Norris, he responded pretty well after his sprint qualifying and the sprint race to get pole position ahead of his teammate, who both are challenging for the championship at the moment. So yeah, no complaints with my team.
Good.
It's another front row lockout start, 1-2, just with Lando starting first ahead of Oscar Piastri. And now we head into the race. Now,
The main event.
the main event. And going back to our previous comments, bro, our earlier comments at the start of this episode, it was pissing down with rain in Spa. And the last time we had rain, bro, the race didn't even see the light of
I
day
was
back in
I was having
2021.
flashbacks. I was having
And
flashbacks.
even me, bro, because the race initially started behind safety car on the formation lap, but after the formation lap, the race was immediately red flagged because of the poor visibility, and the race was pretty much suspended, was pretty much stopped for over an hour at the very least, bro.
Yeah, because they were expecting heavy rain, and heavy rain came. Which, in my opinion, they should have just raced until the heavy rain came. But whatever.
I think the visibility was quite poor
And
as
that
well,
was
bro. We were seeing the onboard cameras of Pierre Gasly, if I'm not mistaken, or any one of the other drivers. The visibility was very piss poor. And bro, I've got to feel for the fans there at Spa because I was like, Jesus Christ, man, they're gonna have another race weekend ruined, isn't it? I really felt for fans because I really thought that the race was not even gonna take place because the visibility was piss poor and it was pissing down with rain as well. But thankfully, the weather calmed down after the weather managed to calm down itself after 90 minutes, and we finally had a race. Bro, what I cannot fucking get as well is why did we spend a good couple of laps behind the safety car where the track was completely raceable,
it was ready to go.
and we were all systems go. I mean, the thing here, bro, is that it seems to me that every time that there is just a just like some, there's just like a splash of rain taking place in the track, the race just immediately slows down or gets stopped. But with this case, I kind of get it because the visibility was so
Yeah,
poor.
and Spa is quite a dangerous track for that
I mean,
because let's face it.
Antoine Hubert lost his life there, so
Rest in peace always to Antoine Hubert, by the way. Listen, with Belgium, with Spa, it's always dangerous when it's raining, especially when you're going up El Rouge. It's always dangerous. The visibility there is so poor. But what baffles me is what is the reason that we have intermediates and wet weather tires if
They're
they're not
com-
good enough?
they were fucking useless here, bro.
They're always useless. They're always useless. Only used when it's drizzling.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a buck now, because when it's months, when it's raining, when there's a bit of a downpour going, when when the floodgates open, when the heavens open, the race just stops every time. I get it with safety. I get it, totally get it.
You have to understand that as well, bro, because we're not
I get
driving the
it, but
cars. The drivers are driving the cars there, so we have to understand the safety. But
yeah, they're the pilots. They're the pilots practically.
but it was absolutely ludicrous, bro, that we had to spend like a good number of laps behind the safety car where the
About
track
four
was
laps.
completely dry. It was completely raceable. I mean, even Martin Brand
Yeah,
on commentary duty said it
yeah,
perfectly.
yeah. He did. And about four laps, we got going around lap 5, I believe. Then
At the start of lap 5, and
rolling start.
we had a rolling start. I thought we were gonna have a standing start, to be honest. So I was quite surprised with the rolling start. Anyways, after 90 minutes, we finally had some racing going on, bro, and straight away the two McLarens were going neck and neck, and by lap 5, bro, Oscar Piastri absolutely
Blazed past Norris.
rinsed Lando Norris.
Yeah,
Now,
and the reason being because no Norris didn't have any battery, apparently.
yeah, because of his lack of battery. But then by the time then he managed to get himself a little bit closer for Oscar Piastri. Bro, you want to talk about the race? Because it's obviously talk about the sprint race. I mean, there
What's
really
there
is
to talk about?
really is anything much to add because it was literally a procession, bro,
Absolutely.
for
Listen,
the rest of the
eh,
laps.
listen. Everything changed around lap 11 when everybody wanted to get rid of the inters and go on to the dry tires because it dried out quicker than the drivers initially thought.
Yeah,
That's where the some action happened. I mean, I'm gonna start with Lewis Hamilton. I'm
yeah,
gonna start with Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton started from the pit lane, I believe, due to a power unit change. Was it?
I
It was due
believe
to a
so.
power unit change. Due to a power unit change, so he started from the pit lane. He started from P, if I'm not
P18,
mistaken.
18th. Yeah,
He started from P18, and he was doing mega moves. He was finding grip on the circuit
yeah.
when people were still on the inters. He went up from 18th to 15th in a couple laps, which helped him. He even pitted a lap earlier than the top 10 initially.
Yeah.
He pitted a lap earlier, and thanks to that, he propelled himself up to P by lap
This
11.
the strategy worked perfectly for Lewis
F-
during the race.
Finally, a Ferrari strategy that works. Finally.
What a
Now,
point.
for the next 5 races, they fumbled the strategy. But and digress. So, apart from that, both McLarens took off. Leclerc held to
To no surprise.
Leclerc held P3. Verstappen stayed fourth. George Russell overtook Alex Albon to get fifth, with Albon in sixth. Hamilton stayed in P7 after the pit stop.
I mean, one of the McLarens went off on. I mean, Lando Norris's McLaren went a little bit off on lap 26. I think that's obviously because of the tires and because of
Yeah,
the weather conditions as well. Um, Other than that, nothing really much happened. No retirements as well during the
yeah,
race,
no retirements, absolutely.
which is so unlike Spa, by the way, because normally with Spa we see a lot of retirements, specifically during the start of the start of the race.
Isaac
Um,
Hadjar and Yuki Tsunoda were a bit compromised for lapping a lap later. Sorry,
yeah,
for pitting a lap later. I said lapping. For pitting a lap later to change tires, and they got compromised. I mean, Yuki Tsunoda was running pretty solidly in the race, and then just dropped down to P13. And Isaac Hadjar
and that was
then
race over
lost.
to
So
finish himself
unlucky.
out. Robbed us of a great race because of the red flag and because of the tire setup and the track conditions maybe. Because one of my friends who
Oh,
is
that's
a
a
Max
good question.
because one of my friends who is more of a Max Verstappen fan rather than a Red Bull fan, he told me that the FIA robbed us of an iconic race and we literally had a procession instead. Now listen, before we get to your point, bro, I understand the safety of the drivers. That it's an absolute priority, but at the same time, we could have had we could have had a great race. We could have had an iconic race
Coulda,
with
woulda,
this.
shoulda. But listen, the same wouldn't have happened at Silverstone.
Yeah,
I mean, the same could have happened The same did happen there or thereabouts. I mean, we had rain in Silverstone. The race kept going until there was monsoon rain, and the race eventually had to be red flagged. So, as much as I agree with your friend's statement, I don't agree with much. I don't agree with it as well. I don't agree with it neither.
Your
The
yes and no.
reason, yes and no, because the reason the race didn't happen initially was due to the poor visibility.
Yeah, and it was not safe out there.
Yeah, and it was reasonable. It was very reasonable. Unlike Silverstone, listen, every track is dangerous. We get it. But with Spa, it is much more dangerous, especially El Rouge. We've had unfortunate deaths there thanks to the weather
Sorry.
and El Rouge. Don't trip.
Yeah.
And it is reasonable. So I agree and I disagree with your friend's statement here. It is a good question, though. It is a good question.
We obviously both of us, we prioritize on the driver's safety 100%, because listen,
Absolutely.
if the track is not safe to drive, it is not safe to drive at all. But some of the rules from the FIA when it comes to the rain and with the tires specifically, they're absolutely ludicrous. For example, we did need to first of all, we did need to spend 4 laps zigzagging around the track. That's number one. Number two, the tires were completely fucking useless in that track. Let's be honest now. I mean,
Absolutely.
with the intermediates and the wet specifically, they were completely useless out there. But at the same time, we have to agree as well that the safety of the drivers comes first. I mean, listen, the last thing we
And
need
listen, and
is
listen,
not is another tragedy. That's the last thing we need at the moment. So
even our friend Tina mentioned in the group chat. Well, they raced in Brazil last year, and it was monsoon rain.
doesn't make any sense, bro. Every track is different.
Absolutely, and listen, because Brazil and Silverstone, for example, it's not. I'm not saying they're not safe. I mean, I'm not saying that they're the safest
Yeah.
or they're not safe, but Spa is different. Spa in particular is different, unfortunately, especially that El Rouge climb in the rain. It is so dangerous. Even Vettel mentioned one time when someone had a crash there that someone's gonna get hurt, and I don't know who it was. I believe it was Lando Norris
Yeah.
that ended up crashing. I believe it. I was in qualifying, something
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
and it happened. So it's not the safest. So I agree and I disagree. But what they should do is they need to sort out those inters and wets.
100%.
They need to sort them out. They need to sort them out because they are as useless as a white crayon, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to add, honestly.
Uh, no, obviously, yeah. I mean, going back to Spa Rouge as going to that straight, bro, it is a very dangerous section as well because obviously Belgium is it's a country that rains quite heavily there as well. So obviously the visibility doesn't play a great part in there as well. But that straight as well is very dangerous. Well, I mean, cars there, Formula One cars go there and are driving almost in like 300 miles per hour, quite literally. I mean, if you crash there, you're gonna end up in a very
200,
very
200,
bad space
200,
between
200, not three.
between 200 and 300.
Nah, they don't
Um,
reach 300, bro. They don't reach
no, no, no,
300.
no. I mean, it's just what.
They don't
Um,
reach 210, 200 miles per hour.
yeah, for sure. But with the race, another McLaren dominance, a 1-2. Um, fuck off, bro. Oscar Piastri won the race after the rolling start. He was pretty much untroubled for the entire race. He won over his teammate over 3.415 seconds. I mean, both McLarens, bro, we were over 20 seconds ahead of Charles Leclerc's Ferrari in third. Again, dominance, again, superb from both drivers. Oscar Piastri, another statement from him that he is the favorite to win it. I think at this moment the constructor standings, it's not if we're gonna win it, but when we're gonna win it. The gap is just getting bigger, bigger, and bigger. And with the drivers championship, it's between Piastri and Norris battling it out. Piastri again, he has showed once again that he is right up there to win his first major title, first major title. And what I was impressed also with him, bro, is his tenacity this weekend.
I'm gonna
Untroubled.
ask, I'm gonna ask you a question, yeah?
Yeah,
It is between both McLarens for the World Championship.
yeah,
Would that hinder? Let's say Oscar Piastri wins the World Championship.
yeah.
what would that do to Lando Norris's confidence within the team? Because let's keep it
It
a
would
buck
have
now.
it would affect his confidence 100% if he lose
Lando,
out on.
Lando, Lando Norris has been with McLaren since the rebuild of McLaren happened. He's their golden
Yeah,
ticket. So for this,
he's our golden boy. I mean,
yeah, he's your golden goose.
yeah.
So for this Aussie to come along and win a world championship over him in the same car, in the same team, what would that do to Lando Norris's confidence
I
with the
mean,
team?
part of it, a part of it is his fault a little bit, bro, because there were a lot of races this season that he failed to deliver his maximum effort. If I'm being completely honest, and that's why, for me, this is why I think Piastri has the better edge at the moment over Lando for winning the drivers' championship, because as I said, there have been a lot of races this season where Lando has failed to capitalize, bro.
What Lando Norris lacks, Oscar Piastri possesses.
Exactly,
And
and that's how I feel as well.
one of the things that Oscar Piastri possesses that Lando Norris lacks is that killer instinct.
Bro, this is Piastri's eighth win of the season
Already,
already.
already,
Uh, he,
he's
he,
already
he's
tied with Lando Norris
he's on his
and
way
Charles
to that.
Leclerc.
He's on his way to double digits. If he continues at this rate, and he will get to double digits. Mark my
Yeah, he
words
will.
on this,
No, he
because
will. He will. He will.
he will get to double digits with the season. That for me is that is title winning material, to win 8 races in one season over Lando. So obviously, listen, obviously, to answer your question perfectly, he obviously, his confidence is gonna lack if he misses out on the driver's standings. But I also believe that I think it's gonna go down to the last few races of the season to see who's gonna be winning that prestigious drivers championship crowd. Obviously, as much as he will feel his confidence, I think he needs much of that has to boil down to him, bro. How much worth are you gonna be showing? What were you showing?
How much do you want it?
How much do you want it? Yeah, because my English is not.
Who wants it more?
Who
Who
wants
wants
it
it
more?
more? Who wants it more out of
At the
both?
moment,
It's still a long
at the
ways to
end of the
go.
season. But
There's
listen,
still so many points to still be won and lost.
listen. I'm not complaining.
You shouldn't.
It's another 1-2 for the team. Yeah, with the constructors, it's a matter of not if but when. I'm trying to ignore you, bro. By the way, because
I
of that.
know.
But it's a matter of not if but when. With the constructors, with the drivers, it's Piastri versus Lando. At the moment, Piastri is showing it way more than that Lando Norris.
Yeah.
With your team, bro, there isn't much to complain with this weekend. A third place for Leclerc at a podium,
He
and
stayed
for
in
Lewis
third,
Hamilton
previously mentioned.
from 18th to 7th place. It's a very solid effort for him.
Very good, very good. It's not a mega drive or a great drive as like many social media pundits
Yeah,
are saying. He didn't set the word the light.
just
It was a
solid
good
though.
it did a very good job from P18 to P7.
Yeah,
It's not the best drive in the world,
yeah,
but it is very good and also shutting up some people that say he's washed.
a
He's
little
not
bit maybe. Yeah,
washed.
no, he's
Lewis
not.
Hamilton Lewis Hamilton is here and I believe that he will come good. I firmly believe that he will come
He's
good.
going. He's going to show it now, though, bro. Coming next weekend.
In Hungary. Let's see. Let's see if he's hungry enough for Hungary.
No,
Let's see. Let's see.
no, 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 no,
I
no,
had to put that there. I had to. I
no.
had
Get
to.
out. Get
For
out.
the culture. One time for the culture. Apart from that, listen. Once in a blue moon, good strategy call from the team.
Yeah, no complaints for our
Now,
fans there.
now the next 5 races, terrible calls.
Uh,
Listen,
Um,
he tried to have a go at Charles Leclerc multiple times, but Charles Leclerc kept his cool, kept his calm, and defended well. He
yeah,
defended pretty well.
absolutely.
He defended pretty well, even though Leclerc was inviting pressure because
Yeah,
he went wide earlier in the race when there still were inters, and then he had a lockup just right before the
yeah,
start in the straight.
absolutely.
But eventually, it's not the case.
Yeah. George Russell in 5th.
Yeah, he overtook
Mid.
Albon in the early race,
Yeah.
in the early part of the race, and just stayed there practically.
Yeah, and speaking of Alex Albon, bro, 6th place, healthy amount of points
Decent, solid.
for a decent amount of points for him, for the Williams. We already mentioned Lewis Hamilton, and to wrap up our top 10, Liam Lawson 8th, Gabriel Bortoleto at 9th, and Pierre Gasly in 10th. Pierre Gasly, considering his leakage in the sprint race, that is a very solid that is a very solid job for him to get a
Yeah,
solitary point.
absolutely. To finish in the top 10, 1 point, yes, but listen, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It is great. Considering the weekend he had to finish in the top 10, brilliant by Pierre Gasly.
Yeah.
He's a solid driver, man. He's just such a solid
Gabriel
driver.
Bortoleto as well, bro. That's another more points for Sauber for the constructor standings after the last race. Gabriel Bortoleto getting himself 2 points in the back, and also for Liam Lawson, bro, in 8th place, 4 points, not
Solid,
a
very
healthy
solid.
amount of points, but that's at least more points for him and for Racing Bulls in general. Driver of the day, bro. Who are you
Lewis
gonna go
Hamilton.
for? I'm also going with Lewis Hamilton. Yes,
I'm gonna
for
go with
driver
Lewis
of
Hamilton.
the day.
He didn't set the world alight, but he deserves it. He
Yeah.
deserves it.
Other contenders, Oscar Piastri could be a
Absolutely.
contender for driver of the day. Charles Leclerc could also be another candidate for driver of the day. Alex
Yeah, pretty
Albon
solid.
Alex Albon is another one as well. But
Yeah, he
yes,
defended well from Lewis Hamilton. He defended very well.
we're going for Lewis Hamilton though, guys. He also got voted driver of the day by the fans around the world as well. Loser of the day,
No,
Kimi Antonelli could be up there for loser of the day. Not gonna lie.
he might be. I'm gonna go Kimi,
Max
you know.
Max Verstappen could also be up there, bro, for loser
You
of
know
the
what?
day.
You
To
know
go
what?
for
I'm gonna go Kimi Antonelli. He struggled all weekend long. It's harsh, I know.
um,
It's harsh, I know, on the kid, but I'm gonna go with Kimi. You know.
Haas could also be up there, bro, for loser of the day, and so is Yuki Tsunoda.
I'm gonna go Kimi Antonelli. Harsh on the kid.
With Haas, I'm going with Haas to be honest, because considering they got a double points finish in the sprint race and to not even get themselves some points for the race, that's a missed opportunity for them. So for me, I'm gonna go with Haas for loser of the day. With regards to Dick and Clown, I don't have any picks, bro. What do you have?
I mean, maybe the FIA for not starting the race earlier.
You could go with that, yeah.
You could say that, but other than that, not much more.
Yeah.
And that's the weekend wrapped.
Yeah, weekend wrapped up. Our top 10 um, is something like this. Two McLarens of Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris remain in first and second, 266 points and 250 points. Stop yawning, bro. Fucking
It's
hell, bro.
boring.
You,
It's
you, you,
boring.
you have to get used to that, bro, because we're here to stay. Anyhow,
I'm
um,
already bored.
Max Verstappen remains in third with 185 points. So is George Russell in fourth place with 157 points. The two Ferraris also remain in fifth and sixth. Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton with 139 points and 109 points. Kimi Antonelli also remains in seventh with 63 points. Alex Albon with that top 10 finish remains in eighth but gets some more well-needed points in the back with 34 points. Nico Hulkenberg and Esteban Ocon also remain in 9th and 10th with 37 points and 27 points respectively. The constructors, McLaren, still on top and will probably remain on top with 516 points. And that's, by the way, we're halfway through the season. Trying to fucking ignore you, bro. You're such a
I'm,
you're such a
I'm being,
prat.
yeah, I'm being a dickhead. I know. I'm being a dickhead. I'm being
Yeah,
annoying. I know.
McLaren on top with 516 points. Ferrari remain in second with 248 points. Mercedes in third with 220 points. Red Bull in fourth with 192 points. Williams in fifth with 70 points. Sauber in sixth with 43 points. Racing Bulls in seventh place with 41 points. Aston Martin in eighth with 36 points. Haas just a point behind them with 35 points. And Alpine remain in bottom with 20 points. And with that, guys, that is the end of another episode. Thank you so much for listening. We hope that
Love.
you enjoy listening to our episodes with this
Our
podcast.
I hope you all enjoy listening to our annoying voices.
Yeah, you got used to it
Mine,
as well.
mine especially.
Yeah. Don't sweat, guys. Now, guys, our next episode, we know that the Hungarian Grand Prix is coming up, but obviously I will be leaving for Kilimanjaro, and I think, Malcolm, you're not going to be probably available for this episode. So
I don't
what
know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
so what we're gonna be doing, guys, if we don't manage to watch the Hungarian Grand Prix, we might do one straight after I return to Tanzania. So that would probably be in around mid-August. We'll probably do a little bit of a recap of the Hungarian Grand Prix in that. If not, we'll do probably a quick recap of it for our next episode. Our next
Yeah. So
race
sincere apologies,
is
guys.
sincere
This week,
apologies for this, guys. After Hungary, what do we have? Zandvoort.
the Netherlands. The
The
Netherlands in the
Netherlands.
20
Last week of August,
late
I believe.
August. Last
Last
week
week
of
of August,
August.
because
Yeah. Last weekend of
there's
August.
obviously the summer break.
Yeah.
So, guys, if that's not the case, hope you have a good summer break with the F1 season. And with that, we're going to be signing off, and we hope to see you for the next episode. Peace out.
Thank you and good night.
Peace.